Hi everyone. I thought I'd pop on today to do a video which I think I'm going to entitle You Can't Be Everything to Everybody. And the reason for this video, why I've been inspired to do this today, is because I'm observing in my online community and also in my personal friendship groups, so many people are really struggling, and since 2020 it's certainly been a test of endurance for most of us, I would say. And right now it seems very heightened, and a lot of people struggling because they're really wanting to reach out and help others, but they're feeling powerless to do so. And then they're finding themselves beating themselves up about it and feeling a sense of despair, and I say helplessness, powerless. So yeah, I wanted to do this video to share something in the hope that this may help some of you out there who are in that place right now. And I can identify with it. I'm human like everybody else, and yeah, it's certainly, I have my bad days, I have my good days, and all we can do is navigate it the best way that we can. So I wanted to read something from a book that I've been reading. This book, Gabor Mate, When the Body Says No. And I'm halfway through this book and I'm really enjoying it. I haven't really read much for quite a few years because I've dedicated my life to campaigning and fighting the fight and taking on the system, and you name it, I've probably done it in that field. And all it did was give me chronic illness and PTSD. And I learned a lot from that experience. Sometimes I forget the bits I've learnt and I find myself being drawn right back into it, and then I need to really work hard to get my focus back and step back, really. And it's a bit difficult for people to understand that who are currently in the campaign world. But as I say, I've been there, done that, and that isn't my pathway anymore. I do what I can behind the scenes. I don't need to be out there as a public face for injustice. So I'd just like to read this extract from this book, and I just hope it will help some of you. Gilda was a self-confessed workaholic who, she would write, let stress and pressure run my precious life. On a youthful trip to Paris, she threw herself in front of traffic in a dramatic suicidal gesture that could easily have killed her. At least someone cares about me, she said to the friend who pulled her to safety. Even after her symptoms of ovarian cancer began to cause physical distress, including bowel blockage, Radna was more concerned with satisfying others than with her own needs. She sought and received advice from sundry sources. Her dilemma? Suddenly, I began to wonder how to please so many people. Do I take magnesium citrate? What about the coffee enema? Do I do both? Do I do the abdominal massage or the colonic? Do I tell the doctors about each other? East meets west in Gilda's body. Western medicine down my throat, Eastern medicine up my butt. When it seemed she had been successfully treated, Gilda became a poster girl for ovarian cancer, featured on the cover of Life magazine. She was an inspiration to many, but the recovery was short-lived. Still attached to roles she had developed as a child, she berated herself for having let down others by developing terminal illness. I had become a spokeswoman for the wellness community and a symbol of getting well. I had been a model cancer patient, completely active in my own therapy. Now I felt like a living example that didn't work. I'm just a fraud, I thought. Only close to her death did Gilda finally learn that she could not be mother to the world. I couldn't do everything I wanted to do. I couldn't keep calling all the cancer patients I knew, and I couldn't try to help heal all the women with ovarian cancer. And I couldn't read every letter because it was ripping me apart. I couldn't cry all those tears for everybody else. I had to take care of myself. It is important to realise that you have to take care of yourself, because you can't take care of anybody until you do. So that really resonated with me, because I've run over 16 years two not-for-profit organisations. I did those voluntarily, full-time. One was a baby loss charity, the other was taking on the system, trying to keep people safe in the elderly care sector. And both of those causes were important to me, and I took them on because they were things that had personally happened to me, and I wanted my story to make a difference. So what I found is doing that, I was very, very active on social media. My name got recognised with the elderly care campaign. So I became, I don't like to say a figurehead, but I did become a figurehead, and people knew me. So what happens with that is, just as Gilda is saying, you then start getting people contacting you because you represent hope, I suppose, for them. When people are feeling so weak and desperate and often very unwell, we do reach out to the people that can help us and support us. And that, for the person receiving that, it can be overwhelming for them. So they've sort of shared their journey to help other people, and then they're inundated, and then it makes them ill, which is exactly what happened to me. So I mean, my message today is, it doesn't mean to say that you don't care because you're not out there with your banner and your megaphone, or you know, your keyboard warrior moments. Don't worry about people judging you. You know in your heart that you care. So try to think of ways that you can help that will be kinder to you. So I say I'm proactive in what's happening in the world now, but I'm doing things quietly behind the scenes in a way that's kind to me, is not time consuming, and it keeps me safe. So I'm not so vulnerable, and I don't burn myself out or get overly distressed with the situation. And it is really hard when you're an empath and you just want to give and you want to save the world and help everybody. It is really difficult, and it takes a lot of focus and mental strength to be able to create your boundaries, which is the very reason that I ended up ill, because I didn't have my boundaries. Now I do have my boundaries, and I've learned to say no and to do my best to try not to worry about what the other person is going to think of me, because at the end of the day, each of us, we're the ones walking this pathway on our own journey. Nobody can truly understand our personal challenges, our triggers, how our body and our mind and our spirit react to situations. Only we know that. So only you really can take responsibility and just to look after yourself. So that's my message, and I just hope it's helped a few of you today. So you all take care of yourselves. Bye for now.